What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, here we are at about 1.11118 cents. It's not looking good, y'all. It's looking like we are gonna get that close. And just so you know, I'm not worried about the price. It's looking like we are gonna get that close below the 382. I did say, whenever we first brought this up, it wasn't in my last video. It might have been like 2 videos ago or 3 videos ago. That if we close just below it, that's not necessarily to be concerned about, right? Just below it's not a big concern. We need to break below it. So there does lie a scenario in which if we close like right here, literally, if we don't move too much over the next 20 hours, 26 minutes, we close right here. Next week we could close a little bit lower, and then the next week we could close up, right? And I'm not just cherry picking. I'm not coping, right? I mean, maybe I am. I don't think I am. I'm being genuine with the charts. It could be XCN. It could be anything. I wouldn't call a close here a break below the 382, right? It's something to be aware of. It's something to maybe consider and maybe even be suspicious of, but it's nothing to way too much on. All right, unless we do move down a little bit more. If we see something that's a little bit more substantiated, has a definite follow through the 382, that could be unideal. So the goal right now, same as the past few videos, is to close above 3 ones or 0.031s. So let me just say that differently, because anytime I say numbers on top of numbers, it messes things up. 0.011198. Okay, we close above that by the end of this week. Good. If we close here, even just below it, like, okay, fine, whatever. It's fine. But substantially lower. If we move down like 2 or 3% today, I would think that would be enough. Yeah, maybe like 5%, 4%, something like that. I would say maybe even 3%. That would be enough to, let's say, concern me a little bit. Not concern me too much to the point of where I'm gonna shake and sell out of my bags. No, but just concern me a little bit, and accept the possibility of that 0.007 to 0.004 target area. Accepting the possibility does not mean believing it's going to happen. It just means that I believe that it can happen. Okay, I need to be careful with my words, because you guys are more skittish than I don't know, a flock of pigeons, man. I have nothing to reference that to. I don't know. Maybe not all pigeons. If you were Mike Tyson's pigeons, you're probably not that skittish, right? You come to him, you flock to him. Anyways, we're looking at this here. Finding resistance continually. We are finding support, and we are slowly, to show some kind of productivity, we are slowly diverging away from this line, which is kind of interesting, right? We stopped hugging it back here. I thought that we would at least touch it. We haven't touched it, and this could imply something that's rather obvious, a rather more dramatic dump that could happen, or it could imply that we are in fact rounding out this low and potentially forming some kind of Adam and Eve pattern, which it definitely could be an Adam and Eve pattern. And if that's the case, that's a really bullish thing to do. I don't expect, and what's great about this on a 4-hour time frame, actually no, it's not, because I was about to say that's actually April 1st, so never mind. I was going to say what's great about this is this could have time to form and then come up by the time it's the end of the month. We could drop down with Bitcoin and the rest of cryptos, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I do think that this next week is going to be rather bearish for crypto. I think that we are going to see this final plunge down happen this week. So again, just going back to the idea that we ideally would close above the 382 today. That would be nice, and we can, right? 4-hour time frame. The end of the day here today, the 23rd of March. That is here, right? And it's important, you guys, no matter what emotions you're feeling, no matter what chart you're looking at, XCN aside, it's important to wait for confirmation. And the first steps in confirmation are candle body closes. We need candle body closes. The first thing that we need to see is a weekly close, which again, we still have 20 hours left. So being below this line, and this is something that we talked about even above it, being below the line is not a concern. Closing below it's a concern. Closing just barely below like this is not a concern, right? We've done this before. It's closing somewhat significantly below. And significant doesn't even have to be that crazy, right? 3%, 5%, something like that. More than that. Certainly, I think if we drop down to this here, yeah, that if we connect with this line, which we might do, I'm not saying it looks like we're diverging away from this line now, but that doesn't mean that we have to. We might just have a date with destiny at some point and come down and find support there. It's very possible, right? We diverged from it a little bit here and then boom, down, right? Diverged from it here, boom, down. But it's a bit different now, right? We've been moving down. Why haven't we touched this? Why haven't we, picked up the pace? That's some high quality H2O. Name that movie. If you don't know that movie, man, you got to get with the program. Maybe if you're not American, you don't know that movie, but if not, you should still watch that movie. That's a great movie, man. That's some high quality H2O. We do have some bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. In all honesty, we do. We have some higher lows right here, double bottom right there, or even kind of like a triple bottom in the RSI. And let's see, have we retraced this at all? Yes, we have. So it's already happened. Unfortunately, that move has already happened. Being real with you, yes, there's some more divergence, but I don't know if it's completely confirmed. As long as we're closing red candles, it's not confirmed, and we absolutely could go lower. The 4-hour RSI sucks, man. It looks like you're about to get oversold. It does look like you're about to fall off a cliff. So hopefully we can hold off for, I don't know, one candle here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles overall, right? 6 candles. Hopefully we can hold off for 6 more candles, or I guess actually 5 more candles, 21 minutes in this candle left, so 5 more candles and close above here. That's the idea. Because again, if we close above here, we live to fight another week. Next week, then we could close below this area and then have another week even to come back up and close above, right? I hope all that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense to people. If not, I don't know how to better explain it. I know what I'm saying. I just don't know if you know what I'm saying. I hope you know what I'm saying. And even if we do close below it, I'm not too concerned about the price. Well, I'll let you guys know whenever I am. And even if when I am concerned, I'm just going to buy more at the lows, because even if it gets as bad as it can get, again, perspective is key here, right? Let's say we did drop all the way to the golden ratio to prices that were at 3 cents, 4.5 cents, which is terrible. We're at 0.004 dollars, 0.003. We're at 1 cent now. So what if we drop that much? That'd be terrible. But the price that we're going to, inevitably, it's dramatically larger. It's dramatically larger than this downward sloping move. Okay. It's not to be concerned with, at least not in my opinion. But I'll let you guys know whenever that likelihood comes in, or whenever it is a more possible thing, if it's a more possible thing. For now, 4-hour RSI does suck, and I'm anticipating that we go lower, but we just haven't. It seems like we should have gone lower, right? We're hitting this oversold zone time and time again, and we're just not getting down into it. Here, we were getting into it time and time again, but oftentimes whenever you do this kind of stuff, you actually do reverse. And to be fair, if we look at this downtrend in the 4-hour RSI, it's like you rejected here, you rejected there, you rejected there, and then here you're kind of squirming around, right? Different behavior might beget different results, and that could imply that today is a green day. Let's play with that idea for a second. Let's see if you can, and if you do close today green. That could be a big deal. Not like too big of a deal, but that could be. 1-hour time frame, again, doing the same thing, trying to get oversold. You kind of did, and finally you did, and it was just in and out, and you're back above the 40. This is a good look. It's not a bad look for the 1-hour time frame. If we look at this here, I mean, that would at least call for a move up a little bit. I don't know if it calls for higher highs than this. I don't really know if I should take a high to a low on this yet, because we don't have a confirmed low. Let's zoom it back out to the 4-hour and just look at where we are on this relative fib here real quick, okay? From a low here to a high there, where are we? Reaching for the 886, but not quite hitting it. Interesting. Interesting. I would think that you would go to the 886, man, but you're not. You're having a little bit of resilience here. Maybe you go lower. Let's what about on Coinbase? Let's see. Is it more are the prices a bit more refined? Let's see. Do they have different lows and highs? Come on now. Come on. Oh, come on. Let's go. Oh, I want to get it. Let's go. Come on. Why? Why is it being... That was weird. It was like shaking a lot. My hand was not shaking. Okay, on Coinbase, we have hit the 886. Oh, no, we haven't. See, why does it do this? Come on. There we go. I don't know why it was such a problem. So we did not hit the 886, but we got pretty damn close. And that's a nice reaction. That is a bullish... that's a Dragonfly Doji candle. Doji, D-O-J-I. Dragonfly Doji. Look it up if you don't know what that is already. I mean, the last one we had continued to grow here. This could save the day, you guys. We might have a green day. That's nice. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, not the most bullish. None of these short-term time frames are bullish. It's just the candle that looks bullish, which isn't necessarily enough to get me too hyped. But there's hope. There's hope here. Okay, so let's just say that you are going to move up higher. Let's call for, I don't know, maybe move up to 1.2 cents, because that would make sense to me. Even if we are expecting that you go lower, and I am expecting you go lower than this, moving up to your golden ratio, back testing that for resistance, getting another lower high in this kind of series of lower highs here, finding resistance somewhere in this area, and then coming back down. I could see that happening. It's very normal. It's very, very normal stuff, right? I don't care what crypto, what stock it is, finding support in this area, back testing the golden ratio for resistance, and then continuing down. I've said that plenty of times over my years doing technical analysis, over my years doing this YouTube channel, right? I've been doing the YouTube channel for almost 3 years, man. or no, I guess it's like 2.5. I don't know how long it's been, but I've been doing technical analysis for 9 years. So just trust when I tell you, man, this is not something I'm making up on the spot to cope for XCN. This is very normal stuff when working your way down. You don't oftentimes just tear through. And to be fair, actually thinking about it this way, from a low to a high, you did basically just tear right through your golden ratio down here. You don't oftentimes just tear through. You do find resistance at the golden ratio and then continue to go. So I actually like that. The indicators aren't telling us as much as what the fibs are telling us, I think. Yeah? Does that make sense? We are in a nice position to see some daily bullish divergence, right? All we have to do is close a day below this low and we will have bullish divergence, but that's not all we have to do. You have to close a red day down with a higher low, and then you need a green day to close to help confirm it. I'm not expecting this to happen. I really am expecting that we see a lower low, and I'm not expecting that we get bullish divergence here or form some kind of double bottom. But if we did, that would be nice. That would be a nice signal, you guys. Especially whenever you are expecting, whenever the likelihood it would make sense for you to go lower, and you just don't. That's more bullish, man. That's absolutely more bullish. That means there's some front running. There's not enough selling pressure and there's too much buying pressure to allow it to go down there. So that's kind of an interesting concept. It doesn't, just because it's interesting of a concept and it's not something that we've seen yet, or it's something that we want to see, doesn't mean that it has to happen. But the short term time frames are being very tricky, and going against what the RSI is telling me, strictly going off of the fibs and what I know about the fibs, because that's really my bread and butter right there. I'm going with the upside today. I bet we do close today green. But we'll see, man. We'll see. If not, it's no big deal. And if not, I would at least expect that we move up first, something that's even above yesterday's highs, which would be nice to see. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. What about this fib? What about a low to a high here? What are we doing on the extensions? By the way of this fib, it would make a lot more sense to actually go down. Okay, but technically, right, when you're working your way down to support on the 1414 resistance up here, you would look to find resistance on your way down as well at some other levels. Um, but generally, and I mean, I guess you already did find resistance at the 1272. I don't know. This one doesn't help us as much. It's kind of an obscure fib, to be honest, too, with the extensions and everything. It's a small one. I'm just looking for something that makes sense on that note as well. But there's nothing really else to go off of as far as fibs go. Okay, maybe we can use the macro one. Let's do that on crypto here. High to low. I mean, we're at the 0.5. I don't think we're going to go all the way up to the golden ratio here. I mean, inevitably, yes, but we're at the 0.5. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I think that we will. I'm calling for us to move up today a little bit. I'm calling for us to save this 382 close below, right? From a low here to a high, calling for that. If we don't and we close below it a little bit, I'm not that concerned about it. But if we close below it a little bit more, that's obviously something to address. And it doesn't mean that 0.007 to 0.0045 or 44 or 0.003. It doesn't mean that that's guaranteed to happen. It's just that the likelihood goes up. It doesn't mean that it's likely to happen. It's just that the likelihood goes up. Okay, I'll let you guys know whenever I'm more confident that happens, but it's something we're addressing nonetheless, right? It's something that you should. I don't want to hide it from you, right? If it's something that's a concern of mine, I will let you know. If it's a possibility that I'm considering, I will let you know. And right now, it's just a possibility I'm considering. I don't accept it as a probability. I accept it as a possibility to consider, because I think as a technical analyst, whether you like it or you don't like it, doesn't matter. You need to be honest with yourself. Otherwise, what's the whole point? From a high to a low here, this one, it would just be really nice to hold this 1618. It would be really nice to hold it, but you don't have to. Just because it'd be really nice doesn't mean that you have to. When it does come time to go higher, likely we will tear through this money zone through the 2886 3113, because we've already interacted with the 2618 and had a deep retracement back. I would think when we break through, we go up to the 3618 and beyond. These are prices at 20.5 cents, 26.3 cents. I strongly encourage that anybody, if you've invested in XCN or you're looking to invest in XCN, that you do your own research on it, right? You try to figure out what it's about. Read the white paper. Don't believe everything that the white paper is telling you, right? Don't believe. And what I mean is not like to necessarily ignore the facts, right? The facts are there. Understand the facts. But if it's just saying this is going to be the next big thing, this is going to change the way that we do finance. This is the vehicle that's. And I mean, maybe it is, but those aren't facts. Those are promises, right? That's like the sales pitch, right? The white paper is a sales pitch, okay? And if you're good at reading them, if you've read one, you're probably going to be better at understanding what I mean by sales pitch if you've read like 10 white papers, read 10 of them. Tell me if by the end of 10, for different cryptos, for metaverse cryptos, for meme coins, maybe meme coins don't have white papers to be fair, for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's white paper is kind of different. It's more of like a holy code. I don't know, just for any of them. Read for any random altcoin white papers, and at the end of it, you'll start to see what I mean by they're all the same, right? Even if they're for different niches, all they are is a bunch of promises. They're not necessarily empty promises, but 99% of them are, and they're just promises that haven't been fulfilled. I often say, promise in one hand, take a dump in the other one. Which one's going to happen first? Oftentimes, you get that dump in crypto, right? Get your mind out of the gutter. You thought I was talking about something else? No, a dump as in moving down in crypto, right? Oftentimes that's what happens. So don't believe in the promises. Just consider them as possibilities. Don't treat it like it's this next groundbreaking thing. Although I do think XCN, I wouldn't say it's groundbreaking. Maybe it is. Maybe I just don't understand it in itself. I do think it's interesting, and I think that it has the capabilities of being groundbreaking. I think it has the capabilities of following through with its promises and being everything that it sets out to be. But just because it has that sales pitch in there doesn't mean that it's going to, right? And I'm not trying to talk smack about XCN or any coin like that, right? This is just a broad spectrum for any coin, but really what I'm trying to say is read the white paper, take it with a grain of salt. Don't treat it like it's a holy scripture or some kind of rant, like a tablet that you found in a cave that's some kind of prophecy, right? It's not this perfect thing that they're making it sound to be. They're making it sound to be perfect because it's a sales pitch. That's what a white paper is essentially. It used to not be that way. It's supposed to be a blueprint essentially of what the project aims to achieve, and that essentially is the sales pitch. But a lot of coins these days, they butter the bread a little bit more than they used to, right? Because they're aware of how things work. So just read it with a grain of salt. I'm spending so much time on that just because I don't want people to think that any white paper they read means that they've found the golden ticket. Because if you read any white paper and you take it at face value, you're going to think that you found the next golden goose on every single crypto that you read about, and that's just not the case at all. And the best way to kind of understand what I'm talking about again is to just read through, keep reading white papers, man. Get through them, read through all of them, because you'll figure it out. I don't want to look at this. I want to look at KTA. I was just looking at this. This was honestly a crypto. This was a meme coin I was looking at whenever it was down here. Didn't buy it, and boom, of course it's up. But there's so many meme coins that are like that. So many more that I've looked at that haven't that just like crashed and didn't pump. So it's oftentimes the ones that you look at but you don't buy that do go up. I just want to put this up here real quick. I know I'm all over the place, but let's see. Kita. Oh, there we go, baby. We're moving up a little bit. I want this one with volume. Okay, I'm sorry. We're getting back to XCN, okay? So yeah, 2618 golden ratio. It'd be really nice to hold this golden ratio. I very much do believe that regardless of what we do in the meantime, we will continue to move up. If the golden ratio breaks, we do have support at the 1414, getting back to work here at 008, right down there, okay? And that is a possible target that we've addressed down in this area. It's very possible to achieve. Something else that we're looking for, regardless if we hold this low, we go below this low, or we do even go lower than what I'm expecting. We go below this low or something like that. Regardless of what happens, what I'm expecting, what I'm looking for, what I'm hoping for that happens. I shouldn't even say hoping for. I'm expecting this to happen. It's more than hope, right? It's a call. Is that our low is going to be something like this, something like this, something like this here, something like this, where even something like this, where it's very short-lived, okay? Yes, we will go below the 382, but I'm expecting, and the golden ratio, that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen, is that we do go down to this from a low to a high, down to 0095. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to take the white line. Let's get that white line out of the, oh, come on, there we go. Something down to here, 009525 to 008434. But even if we go a little bit lower, even if we go a little bit lower, I'm expecting it to be a wicked wick, a capitulative event that makes people capitulate and panic sell and literally shakes people out, right? This is what's going to separate the tourists from the locals, right? Are you here? Are you here to stay? Or are you just here to basically spend money, right? Like at the end of the day, the people who sell out, you're just here to spend money, like tourists, right? You're here for a short time, you spent your money, you're going home with less money. That's what tourists do, right? They come somewhere expecting a good time. Maybe they have a good time, they don't have a good time. Regardless, though, they spend money and they go back home with less money. If you're a tourist, you're going to get out in the very short term, right? You're going to get shaken out. If you are an investor, you're going to buy more, hold through the lows, and wait for the inevitable upside, right? A lot of people don't like it whenever I use that word inevitable, but I don't really care, right? I'm going to talk how I want to talk anyways. So I'm Thanos. I've got my purple chip clip here to prove it. I don't know if that helps, man. I don't know. I'm probably off the deep end tonight, but anyways, I think that we are going to see some nice recovery. Okay, we're going to see some nice recovery. We've got a very prominent bull flag in the XCN USD chart. We have an even more like professional looking, perfect, immaculate looking bull flag in the XCN BTC chart. I really don't suspect that we're going to see anything less than something that's rather stupendous and amazing come out of this. I do believe that if XCN versus BTC breaks out and it goes to the area that I'm expecting it to go, which is all the way up here. Why do I expect that? Because this is the bull flag measure move from a low to a high. We put this just below this area, assuming that XCN goes maybe a little bit below Bitcoin right there, right? It goes a little bit lower, something like that. It comes right up. The measure move comes right up to this area here, right? It's perfect. So assuming that this bull flag works out as it should, versus Bitcoin, assuming that the bull flag works out as it should on the US dollar pair, the minimum price expectations that I could come up with are genuinely right around 20 cents. The maximum price expectations that we have are something around 30 cents. And I'm going to leave you with this message. It's the same message that I've been saying that I've probably said in the last couple of videos. I'm going to leave you with this message here, okay? Is that right now it seems uncertain. It seems very, and maybe not to me, but I'm just assuming probably to a lot of people, especially new investors, and maybe not to all of you. I'm actually very surprised and very, very proud of how many of you are understanding the opportunity that awaits right here, right? And you're understanding that this is a good moment to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, man. I mean, anything can happen. You never know the future, right? I'm riding or dying with this thing for sure. I'm not gonna die, right? I'll make money with this thing even if it does crash because my average price is 0.0026. But I don't think that it's gonna crash. I think this thing has a lot of growth to go. Again, I talked about a lot of fundamental things and aspects in this morning's video, talking about how they are building, they are working, they're coming out with new developments and just becoming better and better and building their infrastructure more or less and getting set up to potentially be financial institutional on ramp into the crypto space and into this DeFi lending platform space. They've got a lot going on, and they've got some big players involved, some very big players in crypto involved, and people even from the TradFi world that are involved with this, right? I think that we've got the right team. I really do. We've got some X factors and we've got some people that are hard at work here. It's not just a dead project, right? I believe in this thing a lot, but even with that, even with all my beliefs, who cares, right? Take my beliefs in one hand, take a dump in the other one. Which one's more likely to happen? A lot of times in crypto, it's the dump that happens, right? So hopefully we don't have that. Hopefully the beliefs come true. Hopefully the dreams come true, and I do believe that they will. I say hope. I don't even like that word hope because that implies that I'm doubting that we're going to go up. I don't doubt it. I really don't doubt it. I just don't want to, I don't want to make it sound like this thing that's perfect. You're absolutely flawless and you're guaranteed to make money, because that's never the case. But with that being said, I really do believe that right now, for a lot of people, it might not seem like the obvious thing to buy more, to get in, to DCA more. It might not seem like the obvious thing. But what I also have a feeling of is that once we're up here, there's going to be a lot of people who are like, dude, why didn't I buy more? I should have bought more. I knew it was going to do this. I just doubted it because it was going low for months, and I didn't know if you'd be right or wrong, and I just didn't trust myself, and I should have bought it. And it's like everybody's going to say that, and I'm guarantee you we're going to see a lot of comments like that up there, but BS to all of you, because if you're not buying down here, BS. You're just feeling that way because of the pump, right? And I don't care how much money you have. This is my biggest bag in crypto right now. I'm going to feel like I didn't put enough in it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this is the only coin you hold and you put everything you have in it. You're going to be like, why didn't I sell my shoes? Why didn't I sell my car? Why didn't I do some demeaning, degrading things for money? Hopefully not. Don't do anything like that, guys. But just, you know what I mean? Like, no matter how much money, and in my experience, because I have done this before where I have put everything I have into one coin and it worked out really well. It actually worked out really well. Dogecoin at below a cent. You know what my thoughts were whenever it reached 60 cents, 40 cents, 20 cents, whenever it reached 70 cents. You know what my thoughts were? Why didn't I put more in? and I put everything I had in. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be that. So just be happy with what you have. Don't make this, and not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but don't make this your single most like your only hold that you have. It's good to diversify, because if anything happens that you're not expecting, you want to be protected in that sense, where you're holding other cryptos, holding other assets that will grow. You need that. You need that, because the reality is you're not going to be right. I know, guys. I've been perfect. I'm batting 1,000 here. I've never been wrong in my life, but I could be wrong. You never know. I don't think that I'm going to be, but that's why we diversify. Even still, very confident. This is my largest position for a reason. I'm very confident what's to come. I don't have anything else that I want to talk about. I hope that the message is received clearly. I'm expecting that we go lower. Are we at the? Oh, we did it, y'all. We did it. We did it. We're up above the 382 area, and now we can go down lower. No, probably. I think that we're going to go a little bit lower. Okay. Bitcoin's going to drop. Crypto's going to drop. I think it's all coming this week. I think it's coming to end March, and then beginning April, mid-April, we're going to stop dropping. We're going to see some relief throughout the whole space, and I really do believe that the first stop for XCN, when it comes time for this relief, let's just say that it goes around the area that I'm thinking it goes to. Let's just say something like this. I think that the very first stop is going to be something around, yeah, I'd probably say something around either 2.1 cents or 1.72 cents. Probably a little bit through 1.72, because with the 382, and this isn't appropriate at all because we don't have the low, I'm just guessing here, but with the 382, something in this area, you do go a little bit above it, and right above this 382, this implied area, it's like basically this 1.8 cents, 1.9 cents. That might be our first stop. If we can get above 1.9 cents at any single point, that validates our low. So if we just move up from here and we close above 1.9 cents, valid. If we go lower and we close above 1.9 cents, valid, right? That's what we're looking for. But until then, the option is to the downside. Ideally, we're just going to slow bleed down. We'll figure this out while the rest of the market drops. We might have our final crash kind of happen, and that'll take us down to like this area here, something in this area, and then we'll rip, we'll recover. And in a matter of weeks, in a matter of months, it could be by the end of May, it could be sometime in June, it could even be sometime by the end of April, depending on how fast this thing wants to move. And we know it doesn't take much time at all. It can be 2 weeks that you see a 20x move. Was it a 21x move actually? What was it? What was it from that? That wasn't the low, by the way. 2 weeks to form looks like a 20x. Yeah, 20.5x move. Who's to say that it can't happen again? And I want to be very clear, I don't expect this to happen again. I expect that when we get down to our lows, whatever it is, we will see a move that's of this magnitude, if not larger. Why do I say that? Because again, if we go down to that area, a 20x takes us still below 20 cents. And I think that we will see new all-time highs by the end of this next move. I think it is going to be bigger, actually, which is something we've gotten very friendly and very familiar with as of recently, because it makes sense with the XCN BTC chart. But I don't think it's going to happen in 2 weeks. I think this next move is going to be a little bit more methodical, and it's going to take more time. That's my thoughts. But if it happens in a shorter amount of time, if I'm wrong, I'm okay with that, right? I'm really okay with that, man. It reminds me of this one time. There's a coin that I'm holding called Bitcoin Cash, and it went up. I was calling for it to go up in a matter of like 2 months, and it went up in a matter of like 2 weeks earlier this cycle. And some guy was like, "Are you okay that it went up faster without you? Ha ha, you were wrong about it." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was my biggest bag at the time." And I was like, yeah, this is my biggest bag. It went up faster than I was calling for it to go up. Yes, I'm okay with being wrong. You got me good there. You got me good. I'm hoping that we have some of those bright-minded people laughing at us, or laughing at me, in April. I hope that we do just rip to the upside. But I'm assuming what's going to happen is this will take time. It'll be methodical. We'll retrace this move. We'll have some stair steps along this line, man. If my computer wasn't glitching, it would be so much better. We'll have some stair stepping moves along the way, right? And then once we do break out of this high over here, that's whenever we'll really take off, okay? The way I have it drawn, it's like it would happen by the middle of April. I don't expect it to be like that at all, but just kind of outlining how I think it's going to be. I think it will be more methodical on the way up, retracing this whole zone here. And then once we do break out of this, once we get above like 4 cents, 3.5 cents, that's when it's probably going to be go time. And even then, it's probably not going to perform just like this. Or maybe if it does perform just like this, we will have a stop along the way, or multiple stops along the way to glory and riches at 20 cents, 30 cents, and beyond by the end of May, if not even by the end of June. But the sooner the better. I hope we get some prices sooner than that, but probably I'm expecting that the market will move up sometime in April. and then we will really start to explode in May, and then going into the end of May or maybe even into June, that's whenever we'll top off. So I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.